It's the Cable MTG Show.
In the Moto Vintage Cube, I've really liked Lutri with Berserk. I don't think Berserk's in this cube. Oh, we got a Mox pack one, pick one. Don't hate that. I also like that we got the OG Dan Frazier arts for the Moxin. That's kind of cool. Pinnacle Emissary is one of the differences. This one's not in the Magic Online Vintage Cube. There are a few cards that I thought would be interesting to try. The Magic Online Cube just hasn't had for whatever reason. And Emissary's one of them. But it's literally only like 4 or 5 cards. I don't know why LED is exciting to me. It shouldn't really. Just another 0-mana artifact. Stack them up. Let's grab a Talisman. This is ranked, and ranked is best of 1. Why are there 2 chats on screen? Because I clicked the wrong one. Here we are. Yeah, I was adjusting the chats right at the start of the stream. Is the only reason for that. Was Uro a bad pick there? Uro takes a little bit... Uro is driving you towards blue-green. If you really felt like drafting blue-green, it'd be okay. It does take some build around, right? You need cards that fill up your graveyard. Cards like Dak Looting, or Frantic Search, that sort of thing. Fill up the graveyard real fast. Maybe green-blue Tameo fills up the graveyard for Uro really quickly. Things of that nature. It is a build around, so I tend to not grab it too early. It's reasonable, but blue-green in particular has some weaknesses. So I usually don't snag it too early. I'm going to grab Fable here. Still not locked into any particular color combination. With the Mox start, I kind of like the idea of playing artifacts, but we haven't really seen any artifact signals. AC Gibbs 011 thinks the Sob. Thanks the 5 months there. Yeah, Elegy Acolyte is another card that's different from the Magic Online Cube. Oh shit, what up? Hey, Bangerang 77, thanks to the sub, thanks to the 4 months there. Hayek, you're not gonna have much luck on this channel if that's if that's your comment. Isn't that a better pick? I clearly didn't think so, right? I wanted to do something else. You can draft all the Scalding Tarns that you desire. Taking fixing early, like Tarns and Trilands and duels and stuff, is a valid strategy. It's pretty rare that I do that. I typically like to have a reason to be in colors. I like to have a direction before I start taking a bunch of fetches and duels that I won't even necessarily get to play because we don't have our colors locked in yet. We don't know what's open yet. But yeah, if you're gonna question every time I pass a fetch, you're in for a rough time here. I pass a lot of them. Hey, Wall Snuggler, thanks to the sob, thanks to 18 months there. Are we still YouTubing? There is a YouTube up, yes. Can I explain the Mycospawn? Yeah, I didn't really love that pack. There wasn't like a clear follow-up to Fable, and there wasn't a clear artifact thing. Oh, hey, Sup Workshops. Wow, I wish we got in this pack a little earlier. Something the Mycospawn can do is it can get Academy. We also have 2 sources of colorless with the 2 talismans, so kicking Mycospawn is not out of the question. No, I was kind of like angling for artifact stuff, so we're going to take the workshop here, but the Ugin would have been a really nice ramp payoff. We have 2 ramp creatures, quote-unquote. I know Fable's not a creature, but it basically is a ramp creature. And then 2 talismans and a Mox, so like Ugin would have fit the curve that we're designing here very well. We're going to grab this workshop. That is certainly the card I was hoping for. Unlikely to play this Fable at this point, but we'll see. I like that question a lot better. Can you explain why you liked this card instead of, isn't the correct pick this other thing? For reference. Ugh. Yeah, the red creatures are both good. They're not really rampy. I'm tempted to grab the Yavimaya just so that we have the ability to turn Workshop into real mana. But it's possible I should be grabbing that Gargaroth. Just a big old wall we can power out. LSV increased the pick order of fetch lands. I super don't care. But thanks for sharing. Mightstone is an excellent one to workshop out. Very pleasant. Oh, I see what you're saying, Gun. So LSV valuing fetch lands really highly now means that everybody else does. Sure. I'm going to grab this Pinnacle Emissary. I'm going to try it out. The map would be nice as another way to find Academy, but we do already have this Mycospawn. Yeah, maybe I actually end up Rug Artifacts. It would let me keep the Fable. Have a couple white producing talismans that won't be super efficient, but that's okay. So the Uro plays with Fable in terms of filling up the graveyard, but that's about it. I might grab it anyway, just because I don't really want anything else in this pack. The fucking Omnath artifact deck. Thinking about Skydiver, thinking about Otawara too. Even Discharge, huh? Have a random removal spell. Could be reasonable. The auto select is like the one card that I don't want there. The Coalition Relic gets a lot more exciting with the workshop there. Almost certainly grabbing Mox Diamond here, but I'm going to think for a little bit. Are the queues buggy? My first attempt to join one, I got kicked out and had to restart Arena Draft Punk, so that would fit my experience so far. Their servers might be getting like overloaded with people trying out the new cube. Yeah, I think a lot of people are excited to not see the Arena Alchemy cards in the cube. I think a couple would have been really nice. Oracle of the Alpha, in particular, kind of screams to be put into a powered cube. And I've seen people, myself included, have put it into their paper-powered cubes. That one and the Clockmaker both seem like they would fit perfectly without, like, you know, swarming the cube with them. Thinking about this Upheaval. Thinking about this Talisman of Curiosity. It is my talisman, huh? One of the things that I really enjoy about playing artifacts is that you do get Mox Opal passed to you. That's pretty sweet. You sure they'll rotate it around different versions? Yeah. That's what I'm hoping for. I hope that they do. They made a big stink about how much they were experimenting this time. That's the only reason I was like, you didn't do much. Hey, well, burninated there, Father Bod. Up the Beanstalk is one of the cards that I was kind of disappointed to see. I think it's like kind of a constructed card that benefits from having multiples in your deck. And that's not cube, right? That's not Singleton cube. The first Beanstalk can't chain into the second one in this. Its ceiling is literally like draw a couple cards. Currently, we don't have a lot for Mystical Tutor to do, but if we got a balance, if we got a Tinker, then it'd make our deck a lot better. Dak Faden fits the deck pretty well, but we're going to grab Portal here, again, in case we get Tinker later. Really missing Academy at this point. I was talking about Tamiyo and Uro earlier. Currently, I think the only way I want to play that Tamiyo is if I end up with... Oh, we have Jar Upheaval. That's funny. Like a Time Walk effect. And Tamiyo can be really good with that. You uptick, you Time Walk, you downtick, you Time Walk again. Maybe I'll grab Ren in 6. That is a late Oko. Yeah, I like the Spiral, the Counterspell, the Battlesphere, but we are in Oko colors, so might as well play it, huh? That is a late Monolith. Nice. Is this a similar powered cube to Vintage Cube or the same? It is very similar, yeah. Very possible I should have grabbed that loot card. That one's pretty good. It's not really the archetype I'm in here, but we are in the colors and gives you a lot of draw and utility and stuff. We have not seen Academy yet. You'll notice that, like, I'm not really drafting a lot of fixing. Part of that is the artifacts, right? Mox Opal's a universal fixer. Mox Diamond's a universal fixer. Talisman fixes for 2 of my colors. Coalition Relic. And our color requirements are very low in this archetype. Like, you look through here, and there's so many artifacts, and there's only a few cards that actually required colored mana. Your odds of getting mana screwed are very, very low when you're doing the artifact thing, for all those reasons. Good evening, Author Methorn. Ancestral Recall. That's exciting. We are in Nadu colors, but we don't really have ways of triggering the Nadu. If the Recall wasn't in the pack, we would be taking Malevolent Rumble out of this pack. And now our Mystical Tutor looks pretty good. Maybe Regrowth is exciting with Recall in here now. Wouldn't hate a removal spell or two. How are we doing on playables? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lands here. Oh, we're doing really well on playables. So you could take Trop just to, like, make the mana base better, even though you don't really need it. I kind of dig this Pest Infestation. Something to sink all our mana into. Little Urza action, huh? Certainly an Urza deck here. That Grief art is very odd to me. Literally never seen it before. We can activate the shit out of this Golos. Cannoneer seems good. The arena drafting window is rough. What do you mean? Chariot's actually kind of a sick one to play off of Workshops. Yeah, we never got the Academy, but we still have a really good Workshops deck here. Not Fabled Passage? No, I liked the other card better. That's why I drafted the other card. gonna be a lot of that today. You can draft Fabled Passage. I won't, like, judge you or anything. Hot diggity. Now this is a pack. This is a pack, I tell you what. Karn's sick. Balance is sick. It's possible I'm supposed to be grabbing the Balance. The Tinker does get Portal, and our backup here is Kappa Cannoneer, so it's a good Tinker. We do have the mana fixing for the Balance, though, between the Mox Opal, the Mox Diamond, 2 white producing Talismans, Coalition Relic. It wouldn't have been hard. Pretty close in my opinion. I think I'm just going to grab a Spirebluff Canal. I do like the Pyrite Spellbomb, but currently we have a large quantity of playables. Well, we are missing, like, any removal whatsoever, and that's what Pyrite Spellbomb is. Oh well. Frantic Search plays well with Uro. It's pretty bad with the rest of the deck. Not surprised by the Trop Wheel. How do I have 4 out of 9 power? I do not. I've got a Sapphire and a Recall, and that's it. You never see Flash going that late. I think I'm playing Flash, actually. Last pick balance, why not? Wow, you can really tell you're drafting on Arena, huh? So something that I like about the Flash is that we do have Mystical Tutor to find it. So if we draw the Worm, we can like get the combo together pretty consistently, I think. I don't think Arena is counting the Mox Sapphire as a land. Also, the counts are not taking into account like Mox Diamond, Mox Opal, Talismans. It's going to be really misleading. Flash with only one target is not ideal, but we essentially have two flashes. So like if you had one flash and two targets, it's not really different consistency-wise than having essentially two flashes, because you have the Mystical Tutor to find the flash and only one target, right? I like the idea of Regrowth Recall. I think I'm cutting the Uro plan. Give you the music. It'll literally shut down the stream, Romeo. That's what happened yesterday. It's not a matter of being demonetized on YouTube. They literally just cut the stream off. But that's what Twitch is there for, right? You don't like two flash, one target? Why do you prefer one flash, two targets to two flash, one target? What is your logical reasoning behind preferring one to the other? Yeah, we'll get to the mana base in a bit, JRC. Right now I'm trimming down because we have too many playables. Oh yeah, Mox Opal's in the lane category too. The Mycospawn is Disruption as well as Ramp. Dragonheart, it's really good. Grim Monolith. There'll be some games where we're just like kicking Mycospawn on turn 2. I also disagree with the assertion that we won't be able to use Mycospawn mana. Our curve goes up to 9 for Portal to Phyrexia. And Infinite with Upheaval. Like, I'm excited about the Mycospawn and the Golos here. Is Emissary good enough in this deck? So I haven't played with Emissary in Powered Cube. I mean, looking forward to playing it. I'm not gonna cut it. One flash, one target. Looks like many times flash is dying in your hand. We have two flash, one target. We have the Mystical Tutor to find the flash. I am not sure why the consistency of two flash, one target is different than the consistency of one flash, two targets. I'm still waiting for anyone in chat to explain why that's different, consistency-wise. I have not I have not gotten anything yet. One flash, two targets. At least you can cast targets in your 5/6 ramp spell deck. Yeah, but typically people are happy with one flash, two targets, even in a deck with 0 chance of casting. Like, I would still be doing this even if the even if I had no green sources in the deck to play the Worldspine Wurm. It feels different. Yes, that is kind of what we're getting at, is that it's just vibes. That's kind of what I'm trying to hope that people like realize. That's why I'm pressing for the logic. As then, like, if people actually have to put the logic to it, maybe they, like, helps them think and realize that it's not valid, but... Hey, Nix of Merit, thanks for the sub, thanks for the 69 months. Or, perhaps, like, once they, like, explain themselves, then I understand their reasoning better. You're not a big fan of Chariot? We can turn 1 that Chariot. A little Mox Diamond... plus Workshops plan. Yeah, Chariot's like a very good Workshops card. Thinking about cutting Pest Infestation. One reason to cut the Flash combo is simply because we need to cut like 4 cards here. But that is a different argument entirely than what people are making. Kind of like the crop rotation. Just have the Workshops every single time. Yeah, the Arena deck builder sucks shit, so the only way you can see all the lands is if I do this. I do like Pest Infestation as a Mystical Tutor target. There's going to be some matchups where your opponent's also dumping a bunch of artifacts into play, and then balance is going to look bad, and Pest Infestation is going to look great. Only got so many slots, though. Maybe I'll cut Memory Jar. Jar is, like, pretty sweet with Upheaval, but might not be necessary here. Yeah, come right. Strip Mine and Wasteland are good cards. You think Jars win more with Upheaval? Not necessarily. I've seen a lot of Upheavals that do not, in fact, win the game. I don't think the term win more is actually applicable to Vintage Cube. It's, like, really meaningless. You can be very ahead and still lose a game of Vintage Cube. Golos. This deck can activate that Golos. Yeah, I guess we're, like, only regrowthing Recall. I think I'd rather have Memory Jar than Regrowth. It's tempting to cut Expressive Iteration, but I think these ramp decks can like run out of fuel real easy and just like flood to bejeebus. So I'm always hesitant to cut my card draw. Could we Regrowth Mystical? Why would you do that? Mystical Tutor for Ancestral Recall, cast Ancestral Recall, Regrowth Mystical Tutor. Where? How many 1/1s are we getting off Pinnacle Emissary? However, 1/1s you think we're getting off of Pinnacle Emissary, I don't care. Pinnacle Emissary is one of the fucking 4 new cards in this whole cube. I would like to test it in my goddamn artifact deck. Just the least relevant consideration of whether you think it's good or not. Just not a factor. not even close to being a factor. Oh, man. We're pretty rampy. We're very rampy. Let's look at the mana base a little bit. It'd be nice if there was just a number, like in the Magic Online deck building. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. It's awkward. So we've got these mana rocks, so you could consider cutting a land, but Mox Diamond really doesn't want you cutting lands. It's one of those ramp spells that works best when you've got things to pitch to it, right? And there's only 15 actual lands there. And you never really want to pitch workshops if you draw it. A lot of comes into play tapped lands there, between the Vine Stock and the 2 Surveil lands. Don't love that. Ship it with 44? No, I'm not doing that. I guess I'm not playing Crop Rotation. Yeah, the main issue with cutting Pest Infestation is that it's just, like, so good in the spots where you want it. The only color we're missing in our mana base looks like black. So if we have a Coalition Relic or a Mox Opal, then the Golos will be able to activate. This feels like more white sources than we need. Seven white sources for 1 card. I think I'm going to cut that basic Plains. Probably play another island. There's another 4 blue sources over here. Plus the Mox Opal is 5. So it's actually like 11 blue right now, which is pretty good. Maybe I'm supposed to cut the Vine Stock and just remove what comes to play tapped land. I kind of dig that. I think I'm going to cut the Expressive after all that. How many green sources are we at total? 3, 4 plus 8. We were at like 12 green. You're thinking about cutting L? Well, I really like L. I mean, I like all the card draw in here, but just because of like the risk of flooding out. But the red fixing is a little bit less free than all of our other fixing. None of our talismans produce red. Well, there's the one, I guess. I think I am going to cut Restless. Let's try this. Academy is in the cube. It is not in our deck. Typically, you would recall on your opponent's upkeep, so you don't have to discard on your turn after recalling. We do have like 3 Mox in, though, which kind of makes me want to recall turn 1. Do it on their upkeep. Awkward. That went about as poorly as it could have in terms of our draws here. Very awkwardly, doesn't actually fix my mana very well. I wanted to get workshops so I could run out Golos kind of cleanly here. God, we're in like hardcast Cannoneer mode. So if I balance here without playing my land first, I have 6 cards to their 3. I'll have to discard 3 cards. I want to keep Golos, Pest Infestation, and I guess Tinker. Means I might as well lose the land. I fucking hate this rope. Now our worst draw is Mox Diamond, but it would have been one of our better draws for most of this game. Thinking about a Surveillant, thinking about workshops. One nice thing about a Surveillant is it gives me blue number 2 for stuff like Urza. I think that's good. You like Pest into balance? If you Pest into the balance, your opponent gets to keep 2 creatures. I don't really understand this attack. I think they just misread Kellen. Oh, shit, what up? Hey, Mr. Ned28, thanks for the sub. Thanks 89 months. Well, they did get to 6 me here. Pretty close to lethal. Upheaval and balance are both out of the deck. Is that just GG? God, a Johnny Bombardment's so good. This is just lethal. Yeah, perhaps the most, like, disastrous start we could have had for this deck. Just recalling into regular land drops and doing nothing for a bunch of turns. Really not what we're designed to do, right? With the triple Mox and all the talismans and monoliths and stuff. I don't think we're going to see an opening like. We're going to mull here. You can Mystical Tutor for recall, but the issue is, like, what are you tinkering for, right? Even if you find something to sacrifice. Much better. So much air. The opposite of air. Our draw last game was all gas. Probably losing the Oko here, but it's still good turn 2 play. And now turn 3 we just go Turtle, and we're in a pretty good spot. Hard to deal with the Turtle that fast. Sure. I mean, if the Oko spits out a treasure, I think we might be able to build up Mightstone and Weakstone into the Kappa, right? So Mightstone costs 5, but then refunds 2. And then there'd be the 3 mana artifacts, the 2 from the Mightstone, and then the mana from the Oko here, giving me a treasure. Food token. Twiddle. Do you make food before Cannoneer or after? Well, I had to do it to play the Cannoneer, to play both this turn. Otherwise, you would have made it after to get the extra 1/1 counter, right? It's intuitive. Chonk. So your question kind of got answered by the game existing, huh? Disgruntled gamer. Not much of a question. I like waiting to see if the streamer actually makes the mistake. And then you'd be like, oh, hey, you could have pumped it after. Feels a little less backseaty to me. Comet versus Workshop. Pack 1, pick 1. Oh, yeah, Comet. Comet's so fucked. Obviously, it's cube, so, like, there's a lot of player preference involved. If you're really in the mood to jam Workshops, there's nothing wrong with taking Workshops over Comet or what have you. But Comet's pretty fucked up. You will win more games, pack 1, pick 1 in Comet than Workshops. You're a simple man, you open a Mox, you're happy. I'm kind of like that too. Get a little power in my deck, feels good. Whee! The cute thing about this Upheaval is that we don't have a land. We still have our land drop for the turn, so you can play the Workshops. Use all of that mana for the Mightstone and Weakstone. Just like draw some cards. That's an appropriate concession because we're playing out the turtle here. They look good, gonna untap, play a single land, get attacked for a whole bunch. That's good upheaval. This is solid. We have our premier Tinker target in hand, which isn't ideal, but I do like the rest of this. Being able to play Relic on turn 1 is nice. You're glad they don't have nerfed cards in the cube? That I very much agree with. Strongly dislike nerfed cards. So the Metamorph is nice. It's another card we can play off workshops. I think I like just Metamorphing the Relic and then casting Mycospawn. Do I have to like hold control so that I don't use this blue mana? We're just going to grab a Surveil land. I think Hedge Maze here. Yeah, I still like the Tinker. Even though we have Portal in hand here. Just thinking for a sec. Having 8 mana towards this portal is really awkward. I could take 7 and then Tinker for the Mightstone and kill the Sentinel, but that's not clearing Minsk, right? It's putting Minsk down to 1. If we had Academy in the deck, it'd be a pretty clear. Grab Golos, go get Academy, turn. Chariot's a few bodies. Mightstone does give you mana for Portal, but not for Upheaval. Let's grab Mightstone. The Relic was copied with Metamorph. Oh, they have a Trumpet and Carnosaur in the graveyard? I'm just going to cast Portal. Get my Trumpet on a little sooner. Also means they can't, like, Mox out Minsc and Boo this turn. By letting them have the Llanowar Elves there. Can I get a food token here? Pad the old life total a little bit. Maybe I'll just sack it right now, too. Do I want a Mystical Tutor? I think no. And then you're just going to make another food token. Just can keep climbing out of the range of any reach that they might have. Rank up. Silver, tier 4. I think I'm going to be doing was... Ooh, a Mox opener. The big thing was they don't... The portal in the opener is really awkward, because otherwise we would Mystical Tutor for Tinker and just have a turn 2 portal. They don't let you use memberships, which is the same thing as like Twitch subscriptions. If you have some number, too many, of videos that have like copyright claims, even if they're like shared revenue with the copyright owner, or even if they're not monetized, none of that matters. And they don't share with you the number of videos that matter. Just that there's, like, not too, like, an exorbitant amount. So I deleted, like, some 700 videos today. And I still don't know if, like, that's going to be enough. Currently, the only ones that are still up that have, like, content restrictions on them are a couple of videos from the Caleb Gannon run. And a clip compilation video. Anyway, it's not very much, but it was kind of painful to delete that bit of YouTube history. And time intensive. it was a lot. Hey, Hurlian, thanks for the sub, thanks for the 6 months there. You're enjoying the 365? Love to hear it. And Siege Wino, thanks for the sub, thanks for the 11 months there. Yeah, opponent's chilling there with some what looks like counterspell magic, so I'm not just going to slam Oko on 2. We're going to pass and see what they're up to. Yeah, hate that for me. Oh, they're just making 4/1/1s. Okay. And we're actually going to let them untap and have counterspell magic for Ancestral Recall. Because we would rather resolve a Chariot than an Ancestral Recall right now. It does let them have something like a Hull Breacher. Would be annoying. Recall them so they can't hit Blightsteel. Hope that they just like draw their Tinker target. So Portal has Battlesphere to rebuy, I suppose. We have two options here. We can Oko turn the Portal into a 3/3 and then just like watch the Oko get cleared. Or we can Otawara bounce the Portal, in which case we'll have to face the Portal again at some point, but it'll be further down the line. I think that's a little better. Opponent's down to 2 unknowns. We have 6 mana this turn. That is snap resolved, The Pinnacle has been pretty atrocious so far. If it's not good in this deck, then I'm not sure it's going to be good anywhere. Maybe it's like a little bit better with Academy. We've got like triple Mox in here, so you'd expect it to do something at some point. I could also see it playing well with like a big Upheaval turn. Thinking about drawing 2 with Mightstone versus like just Golosing for a land is the tank here. I think I'm just going to Golos. They have Caracas to bounce Golos, but I think that's okay. Like, we got workshops, so if they want to Caracas bounce Golos, we're just like, all right, fucking play it again. Right. Wonder what they're tutoring for. Black Lotus. Interesting. Eight mana. Seething Song? Alright, alright. Pest Infestation's only for 3. Maybe I just want to do it for 2 and replay Golos, huh? I've been enjoying that little Golos minigame. Would Oko's -5 have let us swap? Not for Portal. Oko can only swap for a 3/3 or smaller, so it can grab a creature, but not an artifact. That make you do that middle step where you turn into a 3/3 first. I don't know why people are excited about down-ticking Oko there. Target creature an opponent controls with power 3 or less. Is Portal to Phyrexia a creature with power 3 or less? Do you think my opponent's having a good time? We got the arena chat now? Yeah. I think I'm supposed to play my own Portal soon, but maybe the jar's better. Yeah, Comet either does... it either like solos or does nothing. Perhaps the most high variance card in Magic, Comet. So far ahead, you might as well make a food. I mean, I'm at 7 life, right? Oh, I guess 4th isn't in this cube. You keep losing to removal. How do you fix that? Oh, draft more removal. Then you can be the removal person. But seriously, card draw is pretty good. Pretty good at grinding through a bunch of removal. Do y'all think my opponent is salty? Is that what this is? What is more worth to play best of 1 or best of 3? I'm playing best of 1 because it's ranked. Yeah, that was the arena rope experience. I accept the trade. It's cast an artifact spell, so the Oko uptick doesn't matter for it. What happens if I warp it and then turn it into a 3/3? It doesn't matter. It still warps out, right? Because it's still the same object. Got some options here. I think we just Chariot into Cannoneer. Be nice to get the Hedge Maze down so we can play that Urza on the other hand, but... I can't Mightstone into it, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. No. Not the worst little Mindstone. Or not Mindstone. I actually don't like this hand. We don't have another cheap artifact for the Opal. I might end up regretting mulliganing, because we might get, I mean, we've seen the deck do worse. Yeah, this looks better to me. So I want to go turn 1 Mystical for, I think, Recall, and then just like turn 2 Talisman Recall. What of these 3 cards plays the worst into that? I like the idea of Mycospawn for Workshops. It makes the Kappa pretty good. Does that mean I'm bidding Oko? Hey, Avenger, 4/2, 4/2, 4/2. Thanks for the sub. Thanks for 40 months there. The big 4-0. Yeah, if they were curving out with a bunch of critters here, then I might be more tempted to grab something else, but I think it makes sense in this spot. Mox Diamond is particularly bad against Philia. Ancient Tomb, eh? We have 800 viewers. Everyone's in the first hour of the stream. That's pretty good. Cute little Ophelia Blinky turn here. We're gonna eat 6, go down to 13. Hate it. Then we're gonna have to decide between Urza or Sowing. I think I'm supposed to play the Cannoneer. If we had one more colored mana to work with, we could Mycospawn and get workshops and then use that to play the Cannoneer this turn. The flyers can only block creatures with flying. So if I take full control, I can tap the Emissary, which isn't going to be around anyway, but I don't think tapping a creature that's not doing any blocking matters. Sure. Yeah, I thought they might just serve in, blink out the Kappa Cannoneer, and accept dealing me 10 here. But this makes sense. Why did the IP licenses not cover Arena for future prospects? IP law is really complicated. Is the bulk of it. If you're going to do, if you're going to work with a whole bunch of different IPs, that also means you're gonna end up doing a whole bunch of different contracts. Each one is going to be a little bit different because different companies want different things in return, right? I really want to play another artifact this turn so that Kappa Cannoneer doesn't have to trade with the champion. But then I'm tapping things that need to block, so I don't think I can do that. I just have to pass the turn. And then I'll also lose my Construct here because I'm losing 3 artifacts, but that's all right. I guess I'm supposed to spin Urza. It could actually hurt me, though. What instance could I actually hit off of an Urza spin? I've already used Recall. I don't think there's anything in the deck. I think this literally only damages me. I could, like, hit my Tinker target or something. Oh, that's true. I could have untapped Monolith. That would have been better. DED dead. That was my second loss. Bummer. Fell. Oh. Sure. I wonder if we're going to get a round that's not Boros aggro. GG, snap, snap, snap. Really hoping to draw some fast mana with this opener. Mox Center, workshops, or what have you. That's a little helpful. I think I should have done this on their upkeep. I might get orked up now. Hashtag dodged. Oh, that's true. Orcs are not in the cube. Good point. I think my opponent might end up regretting that. Show and tell. And for once, I'm happy to naturally draw my Tinker target, huh? Silva, tier 3. That's must. This is another hand that would really benefit from some Mox action, but a pile of Talismans and a balance is a reasonable keep for sure. Thoughtseize. I mean, even if they Thoughtseize balance, it's still like a pile of artifact mana in a memory jar. Still got to draw 7 there. Oh, fun, Ethox. Congrats on the 6-0. Is anyone else having no luck actually loading Arena after this update? I had a little bit of trouble at the start of the stream, Thopter Gifts. I've heard of other people having difficulty getting things to fire and stuff. I don't think you're alone. Well, this, if you're wondering when balance looks bad, this is exactly that start. What my opponent's got going on here. Pretty unpleasant, because they can just smack me with Ragavan, draw cards, build this mega massive treasure that doesn't get impacted by balance at all. If we can get the Oko down, the Oko can start, like, turning their artifacts into 3/3s for the balance, maybe. Right, Wapbox. I almost backed their board game that they're working on. But I decided it probably wasn't something that my game group was gonna play. Hell yeah. That's so good for me. I've not played SETI, no. Putting up their Ragavan. I mean, the Oko can start making 3/3s here pretty soon. Nice, Alberto. Good to know that a fresh install fixed the issue for you. You'd much rather everything was ranked? Yeah, big same. Have a button that... Just have an account that, like, says whether you're ranked or not. And if you click, like, that you're an unranked account, it just doesn't show you the rankings when you're playing. And then we just chill back here with the Talisman. We made something that they have to chew through with Ragavan at least. Yeah, I'm also interested in the 17 lands data on Cube. Oh, they discarded 2 lands when I balanced earlier. Must have a pretty tight curve. You had Ult the Ruby a turn earlier. Oh, and then just not had Oko here. Yeah, if you weren't sure that you're going to have 5 mana to play the Oko and the balance, then I think that's reasonable. But because we had 5 mana lined up, it's like, okay. Interesting. What got pitched? Mind Collapse. Makes sense. No mountains. Kind of glad they did that now and not next turn where they could copy it with Reflection. They would have had a nice clear maybe. They do have to decide between hitting me and Oko. Last turn they were pretty happy to smack me. Maybe they have some reach in that deck. Why does the dragon have a belly button? Ask Amy Weber. She did the original art for Fledgling Dragon, upon which this little critter is based. I mean, the plan for my turn was probably just to crack this jar. Maybe they'll tutor up something they can play with the jar. The jar turn, they do have that 1 treasure there. We'll see what they do. They spend a treasure, Mystical Tutor, pass the turn. Ooh. Oh, but we have Portal in hand. We could go get Turtle. I'm just going to crack the jar. That's a good spot for it. Love the Mox Diamond. If you're going to Pest Infest their treasure, you need to make sure to target one of your own things, because if they sack in response, you'll fizzle your Pest Infest if it only has 1 target. So I'm going to Metamorph the Reflection and then just pop that and leave their treasure there. Burst Lightning their own Reflection? Sure. I accept your terms. So that was pretty good. Yeah, they were pretty, kind of a bad way there, we keep on drawing the portal. Try this. Kind of regret not keeping the Mystical Tutor now, of course. Very tempted by this memory jar. was thinking about grabbing the Toidle. I do have this Emissary in hand that might be good. Sometimes Turtle just fucking wins, you know? Mightstone, just draw 2 cards. Keep the card flow going. Does it feel like Vintage Cube? Yeah, we knew it was going to feel like Vintage Cube. It's the same shit. Kind of an awkward card with Memory Jar, huh? Because whatever you don't play, they'll get an option to jam. Oh, I think I should have Emissaried here. I think them discard one more card to balance next turn, maybe. I like Mightstone kill the Louis. Really wish this deck had an Academy hum. We could run out Talisman and then kick the Mycospawn. Or no, I'd be short. Yeah, let's just lead on this. Shame to lose the Golos because we're like at activation. I wonder if I was supposed to warp pre all that. I wouldn't have had the mana to do everything. But it would have got... Yeah, this would have been 2 1/1s, right? Maybe this emissary card just isn't very good. It's technically an answer to a Voidwalker. I guess it's a draw too. I should leave it on top. With Caracas something put inside, the Golos would have been tough to activate. It would not have. Workshops and Mightstone and Weakstone just tap for Golos by itself, and then there's 7 mana to activate it. You like a bouncing Mightstone? Wouldn't have been the worst. We are just not getting there. Portal or Tinker Portal? Well, the Tinker's in the graveyard. We used it earlier. Am I dead on board? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm not. Pest Infestation, also good here. However, I think this is better. Assuming it resolves. And the mana you get from the Coalition Relic is in your first main, so I'm not attacking for 2 here. I want to make sure I use all that mana for my Upheaval. And we're not going to replay the Metamorph. We want to copy their shit, I think. I'm actually going to play the Hedge Maze here. Getting that Surveil. Hey, that's not bad. Sorcery, instant, artifact, land, creature. Mine's also going to be a 5/6. So because we're only at 2 life, I don't actually like turning their Nethergoyf into a 3/3 here. Because then any removal spell on my Nethergoyf, I just die, right? I'm only at 2. And making a food doesn't save me from that. But getting a backup blocker could potentially. Fair enough. I think that's gonna let them win unless I draw like Portal specifically next turn. Because now they just play out the Voidwalker and then I can attack in. But we do have Portal mana. GG. Well played, opponent. We did some good stuff that match, but not quite good enough. Going back to my earlier comment about like how there's no such thing as win more in Vintage Cube. Just winning. So I was a 6-3. I'll put the record up here somewhere.